Welcome back to another Rockler demo. Today, I'm going to show you how to route through dovetails using Leigh's D4R Pro Dovetail Jig. Through dovetails can make any solid wood cabinetry project more attractive. They're one of those hallmarks of fine craftsmanship to both woodworkers and non-woodworkers alike. Just watch the reaction you get when someone looks at one of your cabinets with dovetails showing on the corners, and you'll know just what I mean. But through dovetails can be daunting if you haven't made them before. But they're not as tough as you might think if you have a good dovetailing jig and a router. I just finished routing some through dovetails in this tall cherry wine cabinet, and that project appears in the February 2021 issue of Woodworker's Journal. And to route the through dovetails, I use Leigh Industries' D4R Pro dovetailing jig. In this video, I'd like to show you how that through dovetailing process works. But before we get started, let's get some dovetail terminology out of the way. A through dovetail joint has two parts, a tailboard and a pin board. The tailboard side of the joint is where the dovetails appear on the face grain. So on my cabinet, this is my tailboard, and these are the tails. Now what fits between those tails is the pin side of the joint. So on my cabinet, my pin boards are on the top and the bottom. Generally, these pins are smaller than the tails, and the dovetail shape appears on their end grain rather than the face grain. One other thing that I'd like to point out is the pattern of my layout. Notice that the joint is balanced and symmetrical out from the center, but the size of these tails varies. You can see here that I've got a pattern of 2 narrow, 1 wide, 2 narrow, 1 wide, and 2 narrow. On some dovetail jigs, this pin and tail pattern is fixed, but not on Leigh's D4R Pro jig. You can set a regular or variable pattern of pins and tails as you see fit. And now that we know what the parts of a through dovetail joint are, let's take a closer look at Leigh's D4R Pro dovetail jig to get familiar with how it works. The jig's aluminum body has cam-activated clamping bars in front and on top to hold workpieces securely. For through dovetails, the top clamp will hold a spacer board, and the front clamp will hold either the tailboard or the pin board. The template that routes both the tails and pins of the joint is this assembly here. These metal guide fingers are adjustable along the full length of the bar to set up the dovetail pattern you want, and the bar is long enough to route workpieces up to 24 inches wide. And to route these joints, I'll use a mid-size fixed-base router equipped with Leigh's proprietary elliptical guide bushing in both an 8-degree dovetail bit and a straight bit. Aside from their adjustability, here's what's also cool about these guide fingers. Once you have the dovetail pattern set up the way you want it, they're ready to cut tails or pins by just changing router bits and flipping this assembly from one side to the other. Leigh makes it easy to help you know which side of the joint you're cutting, pins or tails, thanks to these helpful mode icons printed on the guide finger assembly. For instance, this is the tails mode orientation. In the tails mode, the guide bushing on the router follows around these curved openings on the guide fingers, so you can cut the tail pattern with a dovetail bit. You can see what gets cut away and what gets left behind. Tails here, pin sockets here. Now I've switched things over to the pins mode, which you can see in this pins icon here. This time, the pointed ends of the guide fingers are presented outward to the router rather than the curved ends. The guide bushing on the router will follow these flat edges on the guide fingers, so you can route the pins with a straight bit. And here again, you can see what gets routed away and what remains. Here are the pins, and here are the tail sockets. Those are the barest fundamentals for how the D4R Pro jig works. But here's the process I use for cutting these specific dovetails. I knew that I wanted a symmetric pattern out from the center with the narrowest possible pins and a couple of different sizes of tails. So I marked a sample board with where I wanted the centers of the pins to be on my dovetail layout and adjusted the pointed ends of the guide fingers in the pins mode to be centered on those layout marks. Then, With the dovetail bit installed in my router and set to a 3/4 inch cutting depth, I flipped the guide finger assembly to the tails mode and proceeded to cut the tail pattern across a sample board. The big advantage to routing a sample board like this is so you can see exactly what your tail board is going to look like before you commit to your actual workpieces. If you don't like the pattern at this stage, you can change it to something else, thanks to the D4R Pro's adjustable guide fingers. This also gives you a good chance to check to make sure that your setup is working properly. I liked my sample tail pattern, so I proceeded to route the tails and pin sockets into my actual cabinet workpieces. I'm using a shorter cherry board here just as an example for this video, but routing the actual full-size panels for my wine cabinet was no different than this. Feed the router slowly and carefully so the guide bushing remains in contact with the guide fingers, and make sure to remove all the waste material in the pin socket areas before switching to a new workpiece. Any leftover waste material can make it more difficult to fit the joint together. And once I had my tail boards routed on both ends, I could switch over to routing my top and bottom pin boards. And doing that first involved flipping the guide finger assembly over to the pins mode and switching to a straight bit in the router. Leigh also recommends scoring the baselines of the pin cuts to help minimize tear out and to make the first pin cuts of any new dovetail joint on a test workpiece. The routing process for the pins involves making sweeping cuts both in front of and behind the workpiece to remove the large waste areas. You'll remember that these become the sockets for the tails. And with this first test pin board done, now we can see if the joint fits together. Well, as you can see, it's close, and the alignment of the pattern is right on the money, but it's just a little bit tight and the joint doesn't go together. But we can fix that easily and make adjustments to how the joint fits together a little at a time thanks to a set of scales on the guide finger assembly. Here's that scale, and there's one of these on each end of the guide finger assembly, and this knurled knob locks the assembly in place. If I loosen the knob and move the assembly back just one of these increments, it loosens the joint by 5/1000ths of an inch. And if I move the assembly forward, it tightens it that amount. That's how the D4R Pro can help you fine-tune joints easily. So since my pins are tight, I'm going to make a 5/1000ths adjustment now. And since my test pins were tight rather than loose, I can just reinstall the same test pins in the jig and shave them narrower at the new setting rather than cutting all new pins. If they had been overly loose, I would have needed to start fresh because, after all, you can't put the wood back on. And now that the pins are touched up, let's see how they fit. Yep, that was enough adjustment to get things right. The pins and tails push together with a bit of friction, and they fit well. With the pin setting dialed in, I can go ahead and route them on my actual cherry workpiece to complete the second half of this through dovetail joint. And once those pin cuts are made, so is this joint. Now, of course, I've only made one sample joint here, but it's just as easy to make 3 more matching joints to complete the 4 sides of a cabinet carcass. Just route all of the tails first and then all of the pins, because once you've got the jig set up, making joint after joint is just repetition. Now, I haven't covered every detail you'll need to know to use the D4R Pro, but Leigh provides this excellent spiral-bound, step-by-step manual that walks you through the process for cutting through dovetails, plus every other joint this jig will make as well, including half blinds, box joints, and more. With Leigh's D4R Pro dovetail jig, what looks complicated really isn't. All it takes is some patience and practice, and you'll be routing through dovetails like these and raising your skills to a new level. You can learn more about the D4R Pro dovetail jig and all of Leigh's other joinery products by visiting leightools.com. And you can find this tall wine cabinet project in the February 2021 issue of Woodworker's Journal magazine. I'm Chris Marshall, and thanks for watching.